Week 16, questions to consider. Think of an issue that you've got an opinion about. If you're not sure, you can look it up on the BBC News website. Lesson objectives. All learners will find an issue they have opinions about. Learn to support their view with 3 arguments. Learn to use counter-arguments to oppose their own view. Plan a 5-paragraph article on their topic in bullet points or a table or another planning method. If time, learn to introduce and conclude your writing. Viewpoints and perspectives is what paper 2 is about, and paper 1 is about fiction. So that means paper 2 is about real issues. What gets your goat? Here's a selection of possible topics. You don't need to choose any of these, you can choose your own. This is just in case you can't think of anything. Speed cameras are effective. Teach first aid or British Sign Language or personal finance and business at school. Age limits for some activities should be changed. Celebrity culture is toxic. Euthanasia should be legalised. Footballers or celebrities are paid too much. Footballers or celebrities are good role models. Animals should be used in testing of medicines. We can save the environment. Everyone should do national service. Video games are good for people. Travelling the world is no longer necessary. What does this picture of a roof supported by 3 pillars mean? Why is it better than supporting it with 1 pillar? A well-supported argument will stand up better to criticism. That means supporting it with more than one supporting view. Together, we're going to plan on the topic, everyone should do voluntary charitable service before leaving education. So in your books, write down your views on this topic. Do you think people should do voluntary charitable service before leaving education, or do you think they shouldn't? Write down 3 supporting views for this and 1 counter-argument which you can knock down with your other arguments. What is a counter-argument? A counter-argument is an argument that opposes the main view, used to show that the opinion holder does acknowledge other views. It's used to argue against. You state it and then demolish its credibility with your other arguments. For each issue, think of 3 arguments for your point of view and 1 counter-argument. I don't mind what you think, whether you agree or disagree, only that you support your argument well. Footballers and celebrities are good role models. Everyone should learn to grow their own food. Everyone should visit a prison before leaving school. We should be taught about money and benefits at school. Do you remember what this picture means? Time to plan. It's time to plan your points of view on your own topic. So if you can outline a plan for 3 supporting arguments for your view on your topic and 1 counter-argument. Document layouts. Here are some notes from the exam board on the layout for 2 different documents. For a leaflet, you need to use a title, paragraphs or sections. Organisational devices can also be used, such as subheadings or boxes. You should use a set of bullet points and you should have fluently sequenced paragraphs. For an essay, you need a simple introduction and conclusion, and hopefully an effective introduction and convincing conclusion, effectively fluently linked paragraphs to sequence a range of ideas, and so that's very much like an article. In writing a letter, you need a definite indication that someone's sending the letter to someone else and paragraphs. And then obviously you have the other layout features such as addresses, a date, a formal mode of address such as Dear Sir or Madam, effectively and fluently sequenced paragraphs, an appropriate mode of signing off. We'll look at this in more detail in another video. In a speech, there should be a simple address to an audience, there should be sections and a final address to your audience. Hopefully there should be a clear address to an audience, effective and fluently linked sections to indicate the sequence, rhetorical indicators that an audience is being addressed in your language, and a clear sign-off such as thank you for listening. In an article, you need a title and paragraphs. The title should be appropriate. There might also be a strapline about your topic. There could be subheadings, an introductory overview paragraph, and there should be effectively and fluently sequenced paragraphs. And we'll talk about this in more detail. Here are some engaging ways you can start your article. A rhetorical question, which is very popular, a description of a shocking scene, a contrast relevant to the topic, a relevant little story or anecdote, a quote, your experience, an unpopular opinion, someone else's experience, or a fact. These are some different ways you can word perhaps your starting paragraph or even subsequent paragraphs after that. You can stop the PowerPoint or the video and look at these more slowly. These are some different ways you can word perhaps your starting paragraph or even subsequent paragraphs after that. You can stop the PowerPoint or the video and look at these more slowly. These are some different ways you can word perhaps your starting paragraph or even subsequent paragraphs after that. You can stop the PowerPoint or the video and look at these more slowly. So here are the lesson objectives with some follow-up questions. Find an issue that you have opinions about. What was yours? Learn to support your view with 3 arguments. What were your arguments? Learn to use counter-arguments to oppose your own view. What were yours? Plan a 5-paragraph piece of writing on your chosen topic in bullet points or a table, or any other planning method that works for you. And if time, learn to introduce and conclude your writing. Did you use any of these methods?